Hi yogis, today we're going to work on balancing our hips, building some strength in our hips and creating a nice open feeling. And when these two come together, then we can feel nice and stable and our hips can support us throughout our day. So let's start in tabletop and we'll do some cat-cows. So place your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Grip with your fingertips. As you inhale, pull your shoulders back, chest forward, gaze up and tailbone up. As you exhale, push your back toward the sky, relax your neck. Inhale, brings the chest forward, tailbone up. Exhale, round through your spine. So as you inhale your chest forward, you can even isometrically drag your hands back a little bit. And then push into the floor to round your spine in your exhalation. So trying to find as much movement as we can in the vertebrae, just to warm up the spine. The hips are part of the whole system. And the spine is one of our most important parts of our body. It's the first thing that was formed when we were an embryo in the womb. You come back to a neutral position in tabletop and just let your hips sway from side to side. Bring your right knee up into your chest and then inhale, stretch your leg up behind you. So exhale, it's like cat pose, hugging in, and then inhale, lift your leg up high. Then exhale, hug in. And inhale, lift up. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, lift up. One more time. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, lift up. Lower your knee to the floor and switch sides. So on exhalation, hug your left knee deeply into your chest and then inhale, stretch your leg up. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, stretch up. So we're trying to stretch up from the inner thigh, not just turning the hips, but keeping the hips nice and parallel to each other. Just finding a nice opening. Good. Now we're going to do some circles with the hips. So pick your right knee up off the floor and just begin to start drawing small circles. Gradually expanding the range of motion until your knee lifts way out to the side, way behind you, way up into the air. Just noticing all those little places that you can open up in your hip. And then begin to reverse the direction of the circle, starting big this time, since we're already working in that direction. And begin to make the circles a little bit smaller, just nice and gradually. And rest your right knee on the ground, pick your left knee up. And again, first start the circles nice and small, and we don't have to be in a hurry. We're really just exploring. Letting the knee get a little bit bigger, the circle get a little bit bigger. Really almost stretching out the circle. And reverse the direction of the circle. Feel something going on in those hips? And let it get gradually a little smaller, a little smaller, a little smaller. Bring your left knee down. Inhale, open stretch your right leg behind you and then just open the hips. So make your hips parallel to each other, parallel to the floor, and then it's almost like you're trying to make the hips vertical to each other and vertical to the floor. Just exploring that range of motion. Feeling a little bit of action in the glutes. Lower your right knee down, lift the left leg up. And same thing. Feeling the movement come from within the hips. Just changing the hips from being parallel to vertical. From being next to each other to on top of each other. Now bring your left knee to the floor. Pick your right knee up again and open your knee out to the side. And exhale, hug it in. Inhale, open up. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, try and open your knee as high as your hip. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, open up. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, open up. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, open up. Keep your leg nice and high and see if you can straighten your leg. You can always keep your knee bent. Try and keep your leg high and lean into the side of the leg that's lifted. So you really have to use your core for this. Use the hip muscles. Just let your hips sway back and forth from side to side. Now when you're doing this on your own, you can always rest a little bit in child's pose. And try not to lean too much into the hands, but keep the hands active so that the heels of the hands are not the heaviest part of your hands. They're a little bit lighter than right at the base of the fingers. So draw the left knee into your chest. Inhale, open it out to the side. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, open out to the side. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, open out to the side. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, open out to the side. Here's the part that gets a little bit harder, so you got to stretch the leg out. Try not to let the leg drop, and try not to bring it behind you, but see if you can bring it straight out from your hip, and then even lean over that way a little bit. This is a lot of work. Okay, so we're just going to hold it here for a couple of breaths. Try and keep that leg high. Then bring your knee back down. Untuck your toes and rest in child's pose. Just let your forehead rest on the floor. Breathe into your back ribs. Let your low back relax and lengthen. And take a well-deserved rest. And lift your hips, tuck your toes, grip with your fingers, hug your forearms in towards each other, and think that you're going to glue your thighs to your ribs as you inhale, lifting up the knees, lifting up the hips, and then press the thighs back, coming into your down dog. You can just take a couple moments here, just gently swaying side to side. Keeping the belly lifted, keeping the hips reaching away from the hands. And stretch it back. Lift up those ribs. And look towards your hands and walk your feet forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bow. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Bring your hands to your hips and just begin to circle the hips. To the front, to the side, to the back. Should feel like a nice, easy, releasing movement. And then switch the direction of your circles. You bend the knees a little bit. Just do whatever feels comfortable to you. Come back to your center point, Tadasana. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bow. Step your right leg way back toward the back of the mat. You want a pretty good distance between your front heel and your back knee. Notice I'm not like this. I've got a nice stretch going here. Now you can always use blocks or books under your hands. That could actually feel pretty good. And try and stretch your front knee forward so this knee goes forward and your back knee is reaching back. Try and square your hips. So even as you stretch your knee forward, you're pulling the outer hip back a little bit. Let the chest come forward. You should feel a nice deep stretch on the inner thigh. And you can walk your left foot out to the left a little bit. Bring both hands to the inside of your front foot. Come down on your elbows, either to the floor, or again, you can have books or a block to raise the height of your arms off the floor. And you don't want to do anything that's straining, so this takes quite a bit of opening in the hips to have your forearms on the floor. And then you're just going to gradually and gently, slowly move the hips around. Front to back, side to side. Circle the hips, let the left knee open out to the side a little bit. Just really getting in there and noticing whatever sensations arise for you. This is a big part of yoga, is just exploring. Without a lot of judgment, but just gaining more knowledge, more information. And come back up on, bring your hands to either side of the front foot, lift your back leg up, step the back foot forward, and step your left leg back. Again, nice big stretch, the back leg reaching back, shoulders reaching back, chest reaching forward, front knee stretching forward, back knee pressing back. All these lines of energy and movement, creating space in your hips. You can walk your right foot over to the right, bring your forearms to the floor again, gently sway the hips in any direction that feels good to you. So really just letting yourself get creative. Letting your right knee open out to the right. Just very gentle rocking. And come on back up, frame.